you have your full features like you would on a traditional CarPlay unit. It's got your maps, music, choose your music, messages, audiobooks, parking, a few other messaging apps and Google Maps. So that's everything you need. You've also got the settings you can bring back to here. This is where you would choose between, if you had an Android, you could click Android Auto. Then you've also got the settings of your CarPlay device. So you can switch here. So if you had an Android, you can now select Android Auto. I've got it on CarPlay because I have an iPhone. And then there's some other settings, the audio settings, your microphone for your car. Some of the people have been asking about the camera. If you can use the factory camera, you can. So you just need to come onto here. You want to go camera type. This is OE camera, which basically means OEM, is your factory camera. That's if you had an aftermarket camera, so you can still use that if you've got one of those. Different resolutions. The only drawback, I think, to this device is the actual Toyota resolutions of the screen. It isn't the best as it could be. That's not the device, that is the resolution already built in with Toyota. I think the only way you can improve this would be to actually replace this entire end unit. So there's a full list of settings. So these are all the tools that you need to install the device and to take the plastic fascias off the car. You'll need sort of stubby Phillips screwdriver. These are for the two scrivets under here. They're not actually screws, they're kind of these scrivet things. I'll show you how to do them, but you don't need to undo them with much force. You need to be careful with them. It's quite handy to get behind the plastic. You can actually just take the plastic off. It's designed quite well to come off. But if you've got one of these, they're quite handy to have. And then a longer Phillips screwdriver. When you get to it, there's 4 screws, one there, 2 at the bottom, and then you can use this extra length to try and reach some screws. Ideally, you need one that's magnetic. This one isn't, but the screws, if they were to drop, they do actually sit quite nicely in this little pan that they've designed so they don't just disappear into the wall, which is quite helpful. So I'm going to show you how to take it all apart, and then I'll show you how to install the device. Take the small Phillips, and undo these scrivets under here. Like I said, just do them really gently, and they'll drop down. So now that it's undone, this will all just pull out. So that's now loose. So then you just come around to this side, it's probably just easy, you can get around the back, and then you just pull this piece off, it comes off with one piece, so these tabs will push in into here. And then next you take this piece off here, that will just come off, with a bit of force, and then you can just set it down there. Next you'll be able to pull this out. This is where you need your long Phillips. It's fine for the bottom two, but the top two that you can see up here, a bit further in, up here. You can take this whole unit out because the 4 screws are taken, and it literally will just wiggle its way out. There is one thing you need to do, is the passenger airbag in here. There's a cable, and a little unplug it. So this is how your CarPlay unit will arrive. Comes with instructions on how to do it, so it's quite handy. So inside the box, this is the device itself that will be fitted into the car, and then this is all the cables. I already had it all out of the box, that's why it's not packed very neat. Yours will come a lot neater than that. This cable here is the USB cable, so if you wanted to do a wired connection, so you can plug in like your iPhone USB or your Android USB, that will make you have a wired connection so your phone can charge at the same time. I run wireless, but I have it's 220 volt in the armrest, so it's got a super fast charger on there. That's why I run wireless, but a lot of people love to do wired, so your phone can charge while it's using CarPlay, so that's an option. This is the Wi-Fi unit that enables your phone to connect directly to the box. Some people use it, some people don't, but I put it on there anyway. I'll show you how to do that, so there's no harm doing it, it'll connect your phone. This is the main wire harness. These are what plugs directly into the OEM cables that go into the back of your head unit. So what we'll do is I'll get this box rigged up, and then we'll head back out to the car. So main power can, straight in there. If you're going to use the USB, then that needs to go into here. As well as that, there is some forward camera if you have an aftermarket camera, but if you're just using the factory components, then you don't actually need any of these cables. I don't use any of these. But like I say, I don't use the wired, so I'm going to take that back out for now and leave that undone. And then this is the Wi-Fi cable that I was telling you about. So it just goes onto there and it screws up. It's not hand tight, don't over tighten it. Okay, and then we'll head back out to the car and get this all installed. So we're back in the